Hi, welcome to this video about Sandbox Evasion. We're not going to cover today what a sandbox is, but if you don't know what a sandbox is already, please feel free to check out my previous video about sandboxes. So in a nutshell, in the world of cybersecurity, a sandbox is a safe environment to check for different files, URLs, etc. The sandbox will take a sample of the file and will try to determine if that file is malicious or not. However, attackers can still get their malicious code through a sandbox without getting detected. They do that using a technique called sandbox evasion. Now, there are many different types of evasion techniques. In fact, if you go to the MITRE ATT&CK framework, you will see that defense evasion is the longest column with 43 different techniques. But today we're going to focus on sandbox evasions. So what happens in a sandbox evasion? When the sandbox will execute a suspicious file, the suspicious file is not just going to run. It's first going to check what environment it's in. It's going to check for the presence of virtual machines or traces that there is a virtual machine in place. It can also check for a debugger or other type of analysis tools that are set in place to determine whether this file is malicious or not. And it can also check for user behavior. A sandbox is not going to have a user sitting at the desk. Now, these are just examples. There are many different ways for an attacker to see whether or not they're in a sandbox environment. In our demo, we're going to run a tool called Pafish. We're going to run Pafish on my test machine and see what results we can get and how it can determine whether or not it's in a sandbox environment. So I'm going to run Pafish on my test machine. Now, this is not a sandbox environment, it's not a sandbox simulator. It's just a virtual machine. So I do believe we're going to get some detections based on the fact that this is a virtual machine, but let's run Pafish and see what it does. Going to let this test run. Move my mouse a little bit. So I did catch the mouse movements here. It should prompt me for some clicks in a minute. Okay, now that the test has finished, let's see what it was able to find. So I'm gonna scroll back up. So no debuggers, that makes sense. There is some detections here based on the fact that I'm running a hypervisor. Mouse present, mouse movement, okay. Sandbox detections, so it did find a username, that's fine. There is a detection here because I don't have a lot of free space. This is again a virtual machine, so not a lot of disk space, and that also triggered a trace here. Sandboxy, which is a sandbox, I'm not using that, it's just searching for this DLL, which it could not find, so I'm okay. Wine, which is a simulator for Windows environments, so it's looking for this registry key and this DLL here. It's actually searching for this function within this DLL here, so I'm okay with that as well. VirtualBox components also could not find those, makes sense, I'm not using VirtualBox. I did get quite a few traces here on the virtual machine detection. So I am using VMware, so I did find this VMware registry key, the VMware mouse, pseudo devices, which are basically virtual components, virtual devices, and VMware serial number. It did not find the Qimo, which is an old sandbox, as well as the Bosch's. It also didn't find these because, again, I'm not using these. These are just known sandboxes that it's searching for. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hey, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to also check the bell icon to make sure you get notifications about new videos just as they come out.